Currently there is a series getting a lot of attention on the internet, which is WandaVision. It has a lot of cool visuals, but in one of the episodes, spoiler alert, you can see Geraldine flying through a wall, and it is exactly what we are going to do today. And you are probably wondering why Janik is spinning around on the chair. Well, we need test shots.
I'm gonna test the energy. A while back ago we made something similar where we made a fireball for Jordy. But that time we made everything in After Effects, with fractal noise or with turbulent displacement. But this time I want to do it different. I want to use something new, and that something new is Trapcode Particular. This is a particle emitting system which allows me to use particles to create clouds or dust or whatever you want. But the reason I want to use this new plugin is the option to use dynamics, like fluid simulations, which is actually a pretty new function within the plugin, so I don't have any experience with it, and that's why I need to test it.
And I am going to take care of breaking the wall, and this I will do in Cinema 4D, which should be pretty easy. First of all, I'm going to take an image of one of our walls and project it on top of a 3D wall. After this, I'm going to use the Voronoi fracture and some rigid bodies, and these together should make sure my wall explodes, or at least I hope so.
I figured out how the fluid systems work from Particular, but I also figured out that my PC really hates particles. It kept on crashing, and I figured out why. I was using multiple emitting systems and my PC doesn't like that. But I also found a fix for it. I use one emitting system on a solid and I duplicate the solid multiple times, creating a bigger cloud which I can blend together. Next up, I just need to tweak the look of the energy. And also I'm gonna link it with the actor's hands. And this is actually something pretty cool, because now the particles will react to the movement of your actor. If your actor goes up, the particles will also go up, but they will leave a trail of particles behind, making it more realistic. But this I need to test a little bit more.
Apart from new merch, guys, which you can check out by a link in the description down below, we also have a new camera guy and editor. Check it out! This right here is Timo.
What's up, guys?
Now Timo, tell me, who is the craziest person here?
Oh god, do I have to choose?
Yeah, you have to.
I would say you, Jordy.
Yeah, shut up. You see, Lorenzo also has the new merch. It's cool.
Really cool.
And Janik joins the party as well. Join us too, guys. Get your merch. Down below. Description. Go.
The name is Storyblocks, which is today's sponsor. If you are ever looking for high quality 4K video assets, then Storyblocks is the place. With their growing library of over 1 million stock clips, you can find everything from nature, architecture, sports, and so much more. They also have collections so that you can find various stock clips of a specific subject. So did you ever miss a shot, or do you need a specific clip for a promo? Save time and money and get it from Storyblocks. We use it almost on a daily basis to enhance our projects, and the great thing is that you can also find templates on our website. Things like title sequences, logo reveals, all kinds of After Effects and Premiere Pro templates. Or perhaps some overlay effects or animations or transitions, the list continues. With only a single price per year, you can start downloading unlimited video assets. So go check it out by clicking the first link in the description down below. And now give me back that camera! It's mine!
Of course, we also need to test the shot where Jordy flies by through the air, and to save some time, we did a super quick test. We just did a simple pan movement on a tripod, where we first move slow in the middle, go fast, and again go slower. And this is going to be our background shot. Then Janik took place on a bar stool and we spinned him around. Of course, he acted like he is flying. Then we just placed everything on top of each other, did some quick animations and time remapping, and now we have a funny animation. Something we learned from this test: shoot everything in a higher frame rate. This way you can easily time remap everything to match the shots better. Another thing we learned: don't let your actor move too much. Otherwise you'll get these sped up movements, which of course look fake. And when we look back at the original effect, you could also see that the actor isn't moving at all. Okay, with all that information that we have now, we can start building our living room set and start shooting.
Hello, I'm Justine. Whee! So what we're doing right now is creating a set. as you can see. So we're setting up some nice lights, we're making it cozy so that it kind of feels like a home, like a living room. And we're gonna have the two actors stand here, and they'll get blown through that wall over there. So right here, for example, we've got a blue light as a backlight, and that way we create some color contrast. We've got blue, cold light from the back, and warm lighting right here coming onto the face, the skin tones, and that creates depth. It looks cinematic. And what Janik is doing right now is setting up some practical lights. These are lights that are visible in your shots, and that way your background is going to look a whole lot more interesting. Like this here, this is also a practical light in the background. And pretty cool about this one is that if you unplug it from its socket, it keeps on shining. Look at that. I think that I have just electricity in my body. And this here is Lorenzo. I have no idea what he's doing. What are you doing?
I'm actually just measuring some parts in the set to know how to projection map everything correctly.
Technical stuff. He's doing technical stuff. Really good. Good go. Good boy. Good go.
Good go.
Don't I look like Wanda, right? Who are you? You are who? That is my camera, okay? Get out of here! Yeah! Steal my camera. That is mine. And now we switch to a different character. You see, the budgets at Cinecom, they're all out. I have to play every character here. I'm Jack. Jack Blackhair. Autographs after the show.
Hey, Janik.
Hello. My energy clouds are almost done, as I did most of the work while I was testing them. I just need to fine tune them now. But I do have one tip for you guys. When you are going to use Particular to create something, always look through their presets. They have a ton of pre-made stuff like explosions or something with dust. I also did this, but of course I also tweaked them and made them my own. But again, try to avoid the multiple emitting systems because your PC will be eaten alive. Also, I adjusted some settings. I noticed that Particular was using my CPU instead of my GPU, so I changed that and it made it a little more stable. Just a little.
To make the shot more believable, I made sure all the fractures of the wall interacted with the whole scene. To do this, I made really basic 3D models of our furniture. It doesn't have to be perfect because you won't be seeing them. After that, I added some collider tags to the 3D models, and now when the wall breaks open, all the bits and pieces should bounce off of the furniture. One of the things I also did to make it more realistic is make sure that the wall had different sizes of pieces breaking off. And with all these different sizes, it will make sure that your effects look way more realistic.
So I see that you're still working on the effect. How's it going, Janik?
Are they gonna get finished in time?
Who knows?
Who knows? Well, anyways, I'm going home. So bye-bye. 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 Doei. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye! Can take the mask off here. Bye-bye! Get the merch, guys. The merch down below. I also need some new hair, I think.
Of course we finished in time, Jordy. What else do you expect? Now, I already told you that I used Particular for my energy clouds. I just made multiple clouds that all look different. Some were bigger and some were brighter. This way I had more options of blending stuff together, creating the perfect look I want. Then when I had my energy cloud, I parent this to a null object. This null is my cloud controller and will determine the movements of my cloud. So I just hand animated this null to follow along with Jordy's hand. And now you're probably gonna comment, why animate everything by hand and not use the position tracking? Well, I tried that, and because Jordy had a lot of hand movements, the tracker could not pinpoint something to track. Hence, animating everything by hand. The next step was rotoscoping Jordy's hand so I could place them back in front of the energy when needed. This is a mandatory step as it will give the feeling of depth and realism. And last but not least, I just added some details like a flare and some extra glow and some light rays.
The first thing I did in Cinema 4D was to use the camera calibration tag to make sure my camera was at the right perspective. You can draw some grids and lines and assign the X, Y and Z axis to it. For an even more accurate calibration, it's good to measure the lengths of your objects so you can give the data to the program. After this, I created a simple 3D scene and projected my footage onto the wall, which is going to break down. I also made sure that the projection was stuck to the wall so it wouldn't shift when the pieces started falling. Next, I added the Verneuil fracture to the wall and adjusted the size of those pieces to my likings. I assigned some colliders and rigid body tags so everything would interact with each other. And I animated the ball going through the wall, which on collision activated the wall breaking open. One important thing that you need to do is to play around with the connectors in the Verneuil fracture. This will make sure your pieces stick more together so you can create more of a hole in the wall instead of a wall going completely down. And of course, I added an hdri to the scene so my objects got the same light and reflections that were present on our set. This I rendered out and brought into After Effects to composite everything together. Now it was time to make Jordi fly through the wall, and that was pretty easy. I made a still of Jordi and cut him out. With that still, I animated him going through the wall. And that's how we made Jordi fly through the wall.
Then the last effect that we made was the flying by shot. Like we said in our testing part, we made 2 shots. One pan movement and one where Jordi is spinning around on a chair. First, we rotoscoped Jordi out, but we also removed his butt, so we brought that back with a simple solid and a mask. Next, we used time remapping to match the movements of both clips. Once done, we animated Jordi to fly from left to right, and of course added some other details to really finish it.
Hey! Who are you?
I'm Jack. Jack Blackhair. And that is my camera.
That is my camera, okay?
Shut up, Jordi! That is my camera and you know it. Give it back.
You know what? I'm getting sick and tired of all those people coming into my home stealing my camera. That is my camera. What are you doing? Now get out of here!
That didn't go as expected. My back. But I think the end result looks pretty good, right? I hope you enjoyed it, because else I would have been hurt for nothing. My back. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you, Storyblocks, for the support. You're gonna pay my medical bill. And as always, stay creative. My back. My back. You know, if you fly at 200 miles per hour through the air like this, woo, that hurts. It really hurts. No idea how I ended up back in the studio though. But I'm really hurt.